Rethinking Traditional Education, Examining Alternatives and Assessing Its Impact. Introduction. Traditional schooling has been the cornerstone of education for centuries, offering a structured and systematic approach to imparting knowledge and skills. However, in recent years, there has been a growing debate over whether this conventional model of education is still effective or whether it stifles a child's natural talents and creativity. Various professionals and educators have pushed for an education revolution, advocating for alternatives to the traditional education system. This essay will explore the arguments surrounding traditional education and its potential shortcomings, as well as examine alternative education methods. By doing so, we can assess whether traditional education is doing more harm than good. Traditional education, a historical perspective. Traditional education has deep roots in history, dating back to ancient civilizations like Greece and Rome, where scholars and philosophers laid the groundwork for formalized instruction. It has since evolved into the modern education system, characterized by structured classrooms, standardized curricula, and examinations. Proponents of traditional education argue that it provides a stable and predictable learning environment, ensuring that students receive a comprehensive education that covers essential subjects. It also prepares them for the standardized testing that plays a significant role in evaluating their academic progress. However, critics contend that this system may no longer be suitable for the needs of today's students. The stifling of natural talents. One of the primary criticisms of traditional education is that it can stifle a child's natural talents and creativity. The rigid structure of classrooms, emphasis on conformity, and standardized testing can limit students' opportunities for self-expression and exploration. This concern is particularly relevant in an era where innovation and creativity are highly valued in various fields. In traditional classrooms, students often follow a one-size-fits-all curriculum, leaving little room for individualized learning experiences. This approach may fail to nurture and support the unique talents and interests of each student, potentially hindering their overall development. Critics argue that traditional education often focuses on memorization and regurgitation of facts rather than encouraging critical thinking and problem-solving skills. Boredom and disengagement. Another common criticism of traditional education is that it can be boring and disengaging for students. The repetitive nature of lectures, worksheets, and textbooks can lead to a lack of enthusiasm and motivation for learning. When students are not actively engaged in their education, they may not retain information effectively or develop a genuine interest in the subject matter. Moreover, traditional education often relies on a top-down approach, where teachers hold the majority of knowledge and authority. This dynamic can discourage students from taking ownership of their learning process and pursuing topics they are passionate about. As a result, many students view education as a chore rather than a meaningful and enjoyable experience. Alternatives to traditional education. In response to the criticisms of traditional education, various alternative education methods have emerged, offering innovative approaches to learning. These alternatives aim to foster creativity, critical thinking, and individualized learning experiences. Some noteworthy alternatives include: 1. Montessori education. Montessori schools emphasize self-directed learning, allowing students to choose their activities and progress at their own pace. This approach encourages independence and exploration from an early age. 2. Waldorf education. Waldorf schools focus on holistic development, incorporating arts, music, and movement into their curriculum. They aim to nurture a child's intellectual, emotional, and spiritual growth. 3. Project-based learning. This approach centers on hands-on projects and real-world problem-solving, promoting collaboration and critical thinking skills. 4. Online and blended learning. Digital technologies have revolutionized education, enabling students to access a wide range of resources and engage in remote or hybrid learning models. 5. Homeschooling. Some parents choose to educate their children at home, tailoring the curriculum to their child's needs and interests. Is traditional education doing more harm than good? The question of whether traditional education is doing more harm than good does not have a simple answer. While traditional education has been successful in imparting fundamental knowledge and skills to generations of students, it is not without its flaws. The criticisms of stifling creativity and disengagement are valid concerns that merit attention and reform. The key lies in finding a balance between the benefits of traditional education and the advantages offered by alternative approaches. Many educators advocate for a more personalized and flexible education system that combines the strengths of both traditional and alternative methods. Such a system could allow for standardized assessments while also fostering creativity and adaptability. Conclusion: traditional schooling has played a vital role in shaping the minds of countless individuals throughout history. However, as society evolves and places a growing emphasis on creativity and innovation, it is essential to reevaluate the traditional education system's efficacy. While traditional education offers stability and structure, it may not fully meet the needs of today's students. The rise of alternative education methods demonstrates the desire for change within the education system. It is crucial to consider these alternatives seriously and explore ways to incorporate elements of flexibility, creativity, and individualization into traditional classrooms. By doing so, we can ensure that education continues to evolve and adapt to the changing needs of future generations while preserving the essential foundations of knowledge and skills that traditional education provides. Ultimately, the goal should be to create an education system that empowers students to thrive academically and creatively, enabling them to reach their full potential. Summary: education has long been a cornerstone of society, offering a structured and systematic approach to imparting knowledge and skills. However, there is growing debate over the effectiveness of traditional education and whether it stifles a child's natural talents and creativity. Critics argue that traditional education may limit students' opportunities for self-expression and exploration, particularly in an era where innovation and creativity are highly valued. Traditional education often focuses on memorization and regurgitation of facts, leaving little room for individualized learning experiences. This can hinder students' overall development and encourage boredom and disengagement. Additionally, traditional education often relies on a top-down approach, which can discourage students from taking ownership of their learning process. In response to these criticisms, alternative education methods have emerged, offering innovative approaches to learning that foster creativity, critical thinking, and individualized experiences. Some notable alternatives include Montessori education, Waldorf education, project-based learning, online and blended learning, and homeschooling. The question of whether traditional education is doing more harm than good is not simple. The key lies in finding a balance between the benefits of traditional education and the advantages offered by alternative approaches. Many educators advocate for a more personalized and flexible education system that combines the strengths of both traditional and alternative methods, allowing for standardized assessments while fostering creativity and adaptability. In conclusion, traditional education has played a vital role in shaping the minds of countless individuals throughout history, but as society evolves and places a growing emphasis on creativity and innovation, it is essential to reevaluate its efficacy. This content is mainly for the purpose of learning English vocabulary, English grammar, and English sentence structure. We are learning American English. A sincere thank you to everyone who watched. Thank you for considering subscribing to see more exciting videos.